All right, so this is part two, talking about the H20 and the US policies that have affected even China's side of things. So because of the policies that have been put in place by the US, it's also created massive incentives for Chinese companies to invest in domestic alternatives. So every dollar that can't go to Nvidia is a dollar that essentially goes into building competing ecosystems within China, right? So we're not just seeing technological competition anymore. What we're seeing is the emergence of entirely separate AI infrastructure standards. And so this brings us to the question of what does this mean for the future of AI infrastructure? We're witnessing something unprecedented, and that is the bifurcation of the global technology stack. On one side, you have the US-led ecosystem built around Nvidia's CUDA platform, TSMC's manufacturing, and American cloud providers. And on the other side, you have China building its own complete stack, from Huawei's chips to domestic cloud platforms to entirely different software stacks or software frameworks. And so here's the kicker. China isn't just building for domestic use, right? We got to keep that in mind. They're actively courting the global south, offering AI infrastructure partnerships that could create a Chinese standard AI road across Asia, across Africa, and Latin America. Meanwhile, Nvidia is potentially losing $12 billion annually from these restrictions. That's not just lost revenue, people. That's lost R&D funding that could have gone into maintaining American technological leadership. Now, I'll be honest with you. Either way, I don't really care. I'm just saying that they thought that introducing these policies was going to cause one thing, and it actually caused something else. So this is which brings us back to the H20 and why it's so important. Because just this month, the Trump administration reversed course and allowed the H20 sales to resume after briefly blocking them. So this wasn't just about trade policy. It was about recognizing that completely cutting off technological engagement might actually accelerate Chinese innovation rather than slow it down. The H20 represents a middle path, a way to maintain some level of technological engagement while still limiting access to the most advanced capabilities. So it's powerful enough to run most commercial AI workloads, for sure, but it's not quite powerful enough for the largest frontier model training runs. And what's really telling about this whole thing is that despite being deliberately crippled, and I just went into the details of the motions that were put in place to cripple the Chinese, right? Or the Chinese infrastructure. Do you know that Chinese customers are still lining up to buy H20s? They still prefer them over domestic alternatives because of Nvidia's superior software ecosystem and proven performance. And that suggests the technological gap, that while it's narrowing, it's still significant. Nvidia is still far ahead. All right, so what should we be thinking about as this story continues to unfold? First, H20 shows us that in the age of AI, semiconductor policy is foreign policy. Every chip architecture decision has geopolitical implications. Number two, we're learning that technological restrictions can be a double-edged sword. They can slow down competition, right, for the short term, but they can also accelerate innovation and create entirely new competitive ecosystems in the long term. And finally, we're witnessing an emergence of a multipolar AI world. The question isn't whether China will develop competitive AI capabilities. Fact is that they will, we know that. It's whether we'll end up with incompatible technological standards that kind of fragment the global AI ecosystem. The H20 might look like another GPU, but it's actually a window into the future of global technology competition. And that future is being written right now, one chip at a time. You want to get more information on AI infrastructure, AI architecture, subscribe, follow, whatever. Let's talk some more.